Good day, fellow Gooners, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you are all very well today and that you're having a fantastic Monday. We have some fantastic news articles to go over today, so let's get into it. The 442 reports. Arsenal star ready to complete Barcelona move. It's interesting. Arsenal are set to lose a first-team star to Barcelona as Hansi Flick takes advantage. An Arsenal star is preparing to make the move to the Spanish giants Barcelona. Hansi Flick is looking to build on his squad from last season, where he won the La Liga title at the first time of asking, with several areas a priority this summer. There has been a fairly public chase for a new wide attacker, notably Luis Diaz and Nico Williams, with the latter seemingly edging closer to joining. But sights are now set on a first-team star from the Gunners. That seems to be coming in the shape of Thomas Partey. The 32-year-old defensive midfielder is set to leave Arsenal at the end of his contract, as reported by David Ornstein, with a move to Spain on the cards. Spanish outlet Fichajes have reported that Barcelona are looking for smart ways to improve their squad, and the signing of Thomas Partey on a free transfer would represent just that. The deal would run for 2 years with the option to extend by a further 1 year, and would see him return to Spain, where he spent 7 years with Atletico Madrid, including 2 loan spells. Very sad to see Thomas Partey go. He's been one of our own now for many years, and I remember when he first arrived, I was quite excited at having him on our team. Anyway, back to the article. Barcelona's financial struggles are well documented, and according to the report, their new strategy seeks to strengthen its position without making large outlays of cash. It would allow for more room for maneuver in other positions should they be able to wrap up a deal for Thomas Partey. Well, Barcelona, you're going to be getting a fantastic player. In 442's opinion, the move would make sense for all parties involved. Arsenal are looking for a more dynamic midfield, and freeing up wages may allow them to attract other targets in the coming weeks and months. For Thomas Partey, moving at this stage of his career makes perfect sense, as it may be the last time he is able to make a jump to what is perceived as another top club. And for Barcelona, staying in line financially will be their biggest opponent this summer window. So any way they can do that will be beneficial. Okay, so it looks like we're set to lose Thomas Partey to Barcelona. Alright, Football Fancast reports. Better move than Norgard. Arsenal agree personal terms to sign £17 million phenomenon. The club may not have announced any official signings as yet, but Arsenal appear to have burst into life over the last week or so. On top of securing massively important contract extensions for Gabriel Magalhaes and Miles Lewis-Skelly, the champion, the North Londoners appear incredibly close to securing Kepa Arrizabalaga as their new backup goalkeeper. Well, we know that deal is already complete. Just hasn't been made official as yet. Anyway, moreover, while we've been saying it for some time now, the announcement of Martin Zubimendi signing is just around the corner. And if that wasn't enough, the Gunners have also made a surprise decision to sign Brentford's Cristian Mosquera, although if recent reports are to be believed, they might be about to land someone who'd be an even better signing. News of Arsenal's interest in Norgard emerged midway through last week, with reports claiming that they had already agreed on personal terms with the Danish international. Lovely stuff. While it's not been 100% confirmed, it appears as if Brentford's ace will cost the North Londoners around £10 million plus £5 million in add-ons. While it's not the most exciting transfer the club will make this summer, it does make sense considering the money and the fact that Thomas Partey is now set to follow Jorginho out of the door in the coming days, and as we know, Barcelona is the destination. Yet, with all that said, Arteta and company now look like they are closing in on another surprise addition to the club, an exciting talent who would be a better signing than Norgard. At least that's according to a recent report from transfer expert Fabrizio Romano, who claims Arsenal are advancing with their interest in Valencia centre-back Cristian Mosquera. And here we can see some stats from Cristian Mosquera's last game. 1 assist, 95% pass accuracy, 97 passes complete. Wow. 2 key passes, 4 out of 6 long balls, 3 out of 4 ground duels won, and 4 out of 5 aerial duels won, 2 clearances and 1 tackle. So we can see that he is going to be a fantastic signing for Arsenal. We've been saying this the whole time. So anyone that is not happy about this signing, I urge them to reconsider their position. The Italian journalist has revealed that the Gunners have already reached a full agreement on personal terms with the Spanish 21-year-old defender. It's still unclear how much he will eventually cost, but Romano has reported the Premier League runners-up are hoping to secure his services for around £17 million. He might not be a well-known player in England, but based on his performances this season, the potential many believe he has, and the holes in Arsenal's squad, he could be a better signing than Norgard. Well, I don't think it's fair to compare the two completely different positions. Why Mosquera will be a better signing than Norgard? The first thing to say is that Norgard looks like he'll be a fine addition to Arsenal's squad this summer, especially now that Partey is set to depart. But therein lies the biggest drawback to his signing. He'll likely never be more than fine. After all, Martin Zubimendi will almost always be picked ahead of him for the defensive midfield role, and we wouldn't be surprised if Declan Rice wasn't also ahead of him in the pecking order, not to mention the chance Lewis Skelly ends up playing there in the long run. Furthermore, as the Danish international will be turning 32 next season, there will be little time for him to bed in, and there is every chance he will be moved on in a couple of years for a younger backup. Okay. This is unlikely to be the case though with Mosquera, who has only just turned 21 years old last week, and according to research carried out by the Athletic, centre-backs typically don't reach their peak until 27 years of age. Well, that's good news for Arsenal, because William Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes are around 27 years of age. Okay, so that's that from the Football Fancast. An update there on Cristian Mosquera. Sports Witness reveals that player travels with agent to London to finalise Arsenal move. Gunners are set to make an announcement. Finally. Arsenal have already made advances to sign Real Sociedad monster class Martin Zubimendi this summer. There's an agreement in place between all parties, but the Premier League club are yet to make the move official. On June 20th, we covered claims from Spain which stated Arsenal have decided to delay the operation for tax and accounting reasons. The Gunners have agreed a €65 million deal which is 5 million higher than his release clause. And as we do know, that will be paid in installments. La Real didn't want the midfielder sale to be included in the 24-25 season, which ends on June the 30th. Therefore, the parties have decided to make the official statement at the start of July. Well, that is sort of what we were assuming. Zubimendi is edging closer towards completing a blockbuster move to Arsenal. Noticias de Gueparcuza, an outlet local to the Spanish club, state the Spain international has travelled to London on Sunday. According to reports, the 26-year-old boarded a flight at Bilbao Airport to the English capital. His agent, Inaki Ibanez, was also seen at the airport and will join him for the trip to London. Zubimendi makes the trip just days after Real Sociedad sporting director Eric Britos returned from London. The player has already travelled to London to finalise his move to Arsenal, and they will make him official in early July. Welcome Martin Zubimendi to Arsenal. You are going to be a fantastic player for us, and we hope to win many trophies with you in our squad. Furthermore, Football Fancast goes on to say Arsenal could close the deal for world-class star in less than 2 days. This being said, the player in question is Viktor Gyokeres. Arsenal could now close a deal to sign a world-class player in less than 2 days, should they be willing to submit a £51 million offer, according to reporter Bucci Laba. Gunners strikers search rumbles on. The Gunners have certainly been busy in the early stages of the summer transfer window, having agreed deals for Cristian Mosquera, Martin Zubimendi and Kepa Arrizabalaga, but they are still yet to get a new striker through the front door. Troy Deeney has been left bemused by the length of time it has taken to bring in a new centre forward, with the former Watford player saying, "It just seems that Arsenal are dragging their feet a little bit in terms of getting the striker." Well, Troy, we feel the same way, mate. Welcome to the party. It's been a talking point since they basically bottled it in January, with going to get that last little bit to get the Premier League trophy over the line. Deeney also outlines the likes of Benjamin Sesko, Oliver Watkins, Victor Osimhen and Viktor Gyokeres as potential options for the North Londoners, and there has now been an intriguing update regarding their interest in the latter player, Viktor Gyokeres. Taking to X, Laba said, Sporting Lisbon will easily do a deal for any club offering €60 million in total for Gyokeres. Right now, none of the clubs interested are willing to pay that amount of money. Right now, there's nothing even concrete. Viktor Gyokeres going on strike because that's not the verbal understanding he had with the president last season. As of today, Arsenal have not made any bid for him, but Berta has all the information about him. If Arsenal wants Viktor Gyokeres, the deal could be closed in less than 2 days. With a bid of £51 million reportedly enough to get a deal over the line, the Sweden international could be a relatively affordable option for the Gunners when compared to some of their other targets, although he is not the cheapest option on the shortlist. And here we have some of the prices. Ollie Watkins, Aston Villa wanting around £40 million. Victor Osimhen, £63 million, and for Benjamin Sesko, £70 million. World-class Viktor Gyokeres could be the ideal signing for Arsenal. It is no secret that Gyokeres has a remarkable eye for goal, placing second in the European Golden Shoe rankings behind only Kylian Mbappe, courtesy of a phenomenal campaign in front of goal for Sporting Lisbon. So he is rated the second best striker in the world as of today. The 27-year-old, who has been lauded as world-class by members of the media, bagged 39 goals and 8 assists for Sporting Lisbon in the league alone last season, showcasing that he could now be ready to make the step up to the Premier League. While it will be difficult to replicate those numbers in England, Viktor Gyokeres could be Arsenal's best bet, given that Newcastle United's Alexander Isak is seemingly unavailable, with Mikel Arteta in dire need of a new striker. Kai Havertz, who missed large parts of the season through injury, finished as Arsenal's top scorer in the Premier League, courtesy of netting just 9 goals, indicating some extra attacking firepower is needed if they are to compete for the title next season. Absolutely. If we have to go another season with Kai Havertz up front, that is going to be terrible. Arsenal news reports. Arsenal made contact with the representatives of Crystal Palace forward Eberechi Eze over the weekend. Did you have a nice cup of tea? Arsenal made contact with the representatives of Crystal Palace attacker Eberechi Eze during the past weekend, according to transfer expert Fabrizio Romano. The Gunners want to sign the England international are in talks with his camp over what it would take to get the deal over the line. Eze has a release clause of £68 million and is said to be keen on joining Arsenal, having briefly spent time at their famous Hale End Academy as a schoolboy. So he is one of our own. Will he be coming back home to Arsenal? Do you guys think he's a good signing? Let us know in the comment section. I hope you guys are also enjoying a nice cup of coffee with today's news. Anyway, back to the article. However, the Palace star is also on the radar of Tottenham Hotspur and a couple of the big wigs in the Premier League. And pipping competition to his services will not be a walk in the park for the Gunners. Eze has been an Arsenal target for a while, and a firmer approach could be made for him this summer as the North Londoners want an upgrade on their options on the left wing. The 27-year-old was in fine form for Palace last term, grabbing the winner against Manchester City in the final of the FA Cup and notching 8 assists and 8 goals in 34 Premier League appearances. His dribbling and crossing abilities rival those of the best players on the planet, and having him on the left and Bukayo Saka on the right would make the Gunners almost unstoppable in the final third. They are open to selling Gabriel Martinelli amid interest from Bayern Munich and Al Nassr, and cashing in on the Brazilian to sign Eze could make sense as the Englishman is without a doubt a better player. A new number 9 is also expected to be signed this summer, and Arsenal need a quality striker and a left winger like Eze to boost their chances of winning the Premier League title next term after 3 seasons of consecutive heartbreaks. I agree 100%. So that seems to be all the breaking news of today. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Obviously, if there's any other breaking news, I'll be sure to let you guys know. So please subscribe to the channel. I thank you for the support that we are getting thus far. And yeah, feel free to share these videos with your friends and family, if they are Arsenal fans, that is. And yeah, you guys have a fantastic Monday, and we'll be back tomorrow with more breaking news on Arsenal News24. God bless you all, and God bless the Gunners. Cheers.